Hello, new glasses, and that's actually what this video is about, but I will start at the end. This arrived in the post yesterday. Specsavers, free eye test voucher when you buy a complete pair of glasses. I should subtitle this video, shouldn't have gone to Specsavers. It's not often, if ever, I will do a video slagging off a company. But I decided about 2 months ago it was time to get a new pair of glasses, because the pair I'd got I'd had for a long while and they were more or less doing the job, not quite well enough. I was getting headaches, distance vision was a bit iffy. Near vision through the glasses I couldn't see to read, so I knew I needed bifocals. I'd not bought glasses in Worksop where I lived before. Didn't know where was good and where wasn't, but thought Specsavers, 2 pairs for the price of 1. That's got to be worth it, eh? Got my appointment booked, went along for my eye test. Can't remember the name. I won't even use names, even though I could tell you the name of one of the people. But anyway, had my eye test. It seemed to me that the guy was rushing. It got the machine. There's the automated thing that they use first, a few little quick brief tests, and then you got the guy, the optometrist or whatever, who does all the testing. You know, you get the red, the green things, which is sharper, and then the different lenses, which is sharper, which is blah, blah, blah. It took about 10 minutes, and I was not happy. I thought, this is not going to be right, and he gave me the end prescription where I could look, and I was saying, look, I can see this side clearer than this side. That's surely not right. And he was saying, no, well, you've got one eye weaker than the other. You've got to expect that. And I'm thinking, well, that's bollocks. The glasses are supposed to fix that so that you can see as well with each eye. And he said, no, that's just how it is. And I thought, this is going to be so much crap. Lo and behold, a week later, I pick up my glasses and they were just shit. They were absolutely rubbish. I wore them for about 5 days. Because I know you're supposed to let your eyes and your brain adapt to the new lenses. But they were rubbish. They were making me feel sick. The mismatch between the 2 eyes was so completely wrong. So I went back and I complained. And they gave me another eye test for free with, he was a company director apparently, so they told me. And this chap spent half an hour, 45 minutes, tested my eyes properly. And I thought, great, brilliant. This is how an eye test is meant to be. And that chap, whatever his name is, I could look it up, but it doesn't matter. I thought was fantastic. He did a proper job, very thorough. I was very impressed. His whole manner was fantastic, where the guy before had been like, he just didn't give a crap. This chap did a really good job, and I was impressed. So he draws me up a new prescription, admitting openly that the guy who had done the last test had not done a thorough enough job. Get the prescription, they order the new lenses, and a week later I go along to pick them up, expecting, you know, them to be right. Yeah, I put them on and I left thinking, cool, brilliant, these are fine. And initially, at first glance, they looked fine. Looking straight ahead, looking around the room and everything, they were hunky-dory. After a few days of wearing them, I started to notice a weird distortion. I didn't notice it initially because in the straight ahead, through the centre of the lens, they were fine. I didn't notice it in the shop. But after a few days, and particularly when driving, I started to notice this kind of wobbly distortion when I looked through a particular part of the lens, the upper part. And I thought, it's probably nothing. But the longer I wore them, the more it annoyed me. And after about 5 days, I went back to the shop and I complained. I said, look, I've already had one retest because they got them wrong, and here I am again because these are wrong. And I tried to show the staff the distortion in the lens. You could actually see it. And the first woman I spoke to couldn't see it. I explained perfectly clearly how, hold a piece of paper with writing on it in front of you or on your desk. then hold the glasses halfway between yourself and the piece of paper and move it across sideways. Well, she couldn't do it. Couldn't get it, couldn't see the distortion. So she said, I'll get the manager. And the manager, the same, in fact, the manageress, she just wasn't interested. You know, I explained to her, piece of paper this far away, glasses this far away, move them so, and she was like holding it right over the piece of paper or right up, and I was like, you're not doing what I'm telling you to do. Do it this way and you'll see. Well, I can't see anything. She spent a very short amount of time, dismissed it, I said to her, look, I've been wearing glasses since I was 14 and I've never had a problem like this, so clearly these are wrong. And her reply was, well, I've been selling glasses for years and I've never heard of anything like this. Which I thought, for Christ's sake, I'm a customer, I'm telling you, you've sold me a product that is wrong and you're giving me attitude like this? And in the end she said, look, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I can't see anything. And I thought, for fuck's sake, you haven't even tried. But as a show of goodwill, we'll make up another pair of lenses. And I'm thinking, don't give me goodwill bullshit. Find the problem. Otherwise, you're just going to have another problem if you remake them, if you don't know where the problem's coming from. We had, with my wife, gone to a different optician because she was getting her eyes tested, and we just happened to mention the problem that I was having. And they looked and said, wow, yeah, we don't know what's happened here, but that is clearly wrong. Where this woman was just like adamant, well, I can't see a problem, but, you know, show of goodwill, we'll make the lenses again. Her attitude sucked, utterly. And this was like the manager of the shop, so it's not like I can say, I want to speak to your manager. I wish that director bloke had been in there. But anyway, I left really quite annoyed. And they ordered the new lenses, and about a week and a half later, I go back, they put the new lenses into the frames that I hung on to, and new lenses go in. Initially, in the shop, probably seemed okay-ish, wasn't too sure, they felt a bit odd. I left the building, I left the shop thinking, I ain't sure about this. There was no distortion along the top. The thing I had initially well, no, I tell a lie. There was, but it wasn't as bad. There had been distortions on both lenses, and one was very severe. On this new pair, there was a minor distortion on one of them, along the top. But I thought, I'm just going to have to live with that. And I left, and within 10 minutes of leaving the shop, I realised, hold on, there's something really bloody wrong here. And as it turned out, if I looked even slightly to the right of the centre part of the lens, everything was distorted. You know, if I turned my head and looked, unless I was looking directly ahead, if I looked to my right and tried to read anything in front of me, I could not. Everything was distorted, and all I can conclude is they had the central focal point of the lens off to the left. They're ballsed it up. Real schoolboy error, they'd got the focal point in the wrong position. You expect a bit of distortion on the outer edges of your lenses. These do it. I mean, this is thick glass. Look at that. That's thick. Because my eyes are absolutely bollocksed. So you expect a bit of distortion, but here was the distortion just like anything to the right of centre, my right, was distorted and unreadable, and that was just absolutely unacceptable. So I went back within a day, and I said, I've had 2 eye tests, because the first one was screwed up. I've had how many pairs of lenses? This was the 3rd pair of lenses, in as many weeks, and they're still wrong. I want a refund. I'm going to go take my prescription to somewhere that knows how to make glasses, because clearly you lot ain't got a clue. And they were like, yes, we think that would be for the best. She was, I saw, it was I'd seen this person before. She was polite, absolutely polite. But maybe it's just me, but the feeling I got, and particularly from the manager when I saw her last time, was that I was just an awkward customer. I was just looking to find fault. when really I just wanted a pair of glasses that worked. And 2 eye tests, the second eye test, fair enough, he did a good job. I would say 2/3 of the staff were very pleasant, but there were certainly a couple of members of the staff there that really rubbed me up the wrong way, and the manager especially rubbed me up the wrong way. Very poor attitude. So I took my refund and I went to Boots the opticians just up the road, and I gave them the prescription that the director of Specsavers had given me, because I thought, this guy did a good job, this prescription will be right. And I gave it to them in Boots, and they made me these. And guess what? They're perfect. They're bang on. I can see perfectly. There are no distortions. There are no misplaced focal points. They got it first time, where Specsavers couldn't make a pair of glasses to save their lives. I don't know why it is. I don't know what it is that Specsavers are doing wrong. While I was in there, while I was sitting waiting for the umpteenth time, I was listening to the people coming in, and another chap came in who'd just had a pair of glasses made up, and he'd brought them back. He'd got photochromic lenses, you know, that go dark in the sunlight, and he had ordered a grey tint, I think, or it may have been a brown tint, but he came out with a purple tint. That's what they gave him, not the tint he had asked for, basically, and he had brought them back and said, you've got this wrong. And looking on the forums after the fact, my problem apparently is not a rare one. Yeah. There is something about them. I believe it is that they are so busy, and just it's mass production. It's all automated. It's like, get them in, chuck them out quick as you can. No checking it. No, I don't know what. But too fast. Not enough attention to detail. Shoddy. Just plain shoddy. I'm sure plenty of people are perfectly happy with their service. But that, like I said, I have been going to opticians since I was 14. I have twice previously gone back in all of that time because they didn't get the prescription quite right, and each of those times they corrected it and there was never a problem. And I've never ever before had a problem with manufacturing where they've got the prescription but couldn't get the glasses themselves right. That was the most appalling service I've ever received from an optician ever. Should have gone to Specsavers? No. Absolutely not. Never again. Awful. And if any of the Specsavers staff, management, whatever, higher up should happen to see this video, I will be very happy to talk to you and tell you more about it, although I think I've covered it all here. But I stand by everything I've said. You will have seen the video that shows the distorted lens that was given to me that the manager could not see because she couldn't be bothered to find it, look for it. Appalled. Yeah. Shouldn't have gone to Specsavers. Anyway, rant over. I don't do this kind of thing very often, but I just think it needed saying because that kind of service is unacceptable and should be named and shamed. Thank you for watching.